Great dig by both Ramos and Grant Delgado for Stanford that time in that rally.
Urban again to serve it up. And Siki gets forced to pop it over. Opportunity for the Cardinal, flying out of the back row, and a nice job with the soft touch by Stephen Irwin.
There's something we'll see Stanford do more so than the other teams who have come to town. That is, they'll hit that back row quick. The Bic, they call it. Stephen Irwin hits it. Brian Cook hits it. James Shaw is unafraid to set that ball. That, again, is another tough timing set. That set wasn't right where Irvin wanted it, but he kept it in play, and Hawaii's defense caught off guard. See Irvin's numbers there. He averages 2.3 kills a game, hits about 241. That average, I know he wants to get that a little bit higher. The outside hitters have got to be around 275 to 300, those outside hitters. Brian Cook's hitting 317. That's an All-American figure for an outside.
Marks unable to pass up the serve. That's a service ace, and now 3 in a row. Out of the timeout, the 6th tie of this set. And we're going to take a timeout as Charlie Wade wants to talk it over with his troops. The Cardinal reeling off 3 straight out of their timeout.
Stephen Irvin, a pretty good center. He was a high school All-American, played for Loyola High School in Southern California, out of Los Angeles. Got a good jump serve. Played the Junior Olympics, a very good player in the Junior Olympics. I think he won MVP there one year, if I'm not mistaken. His father was an All-American at UCLA, so he's got some volleyball in his blood.
For Stanford, a couple of NCAA championships. They've reached the finals 4 times. They've won 8 conference championships. Seems like every time they do win a national championship, a Hawaii player is kind of right in the heart of it, including the 2 sons, Shoji. And here's your Jack back tonight, the freshman phenom, Hawaii outside hitter, Siki Sarkovic, named the MPSF Player of the Week, as Chris alluded to, after averaging a little bit better than 4.2 sets or kills per set. And how's that hitting percentage? 393, and that second night sweep of Pepperdine. Just a great weekend for him and a well-deserved honor.
He was really fun to watch last week, wasn't he? I mean, he was acrobatic, he was athletic, he was entertaining, he celebrated well. And you know what else I found out? I told Ramos quite often, hey, Ramos, give me the ball. I want the set. So he's the kind of a guy who's very direct in what he wants to have and have happen. And he loves to win, that's for sure. Playing the Serbian youth national teams and junior national teams, 84 international events before he came to Hawaii. Yeah. So he's got a lot of experience, and I know Joby respects that.
Something else you and I learned here at the Stan Sheriff on Wednesday night, the Warriors can set and serve and wait tables.
That's right. They were good.
They had their fundraiser here, and the Warriors were bringing poo-poos and beverages to the patrons and the supporters of their program. Joby Ramos unable to get a good piece of it. JP Marks keeps it alive. Sador pops it over, and a free ball for Stanford. Not a good swing that time by Kneller, so Hawaii with the advantage. Sador had to take a stutter step. Not his best effort. And nobody really getting any good swings in this rally. Again, not a great set for Sador. And just never really got into the rhythm of being able to get a good set to somebody who had some momentum and able to fly in and hit it hard.
Good block by Jake Kneller and Spencer Haley there in the middle. I think Haley got most of it, but Kneller has actually earned his starting spot with his recent performance at UCLA, or at Stanford against UCLA. I think he blocked Quiroga from UCLA, Gonzalo Quiroga, 3 times at a crucial part in that match. And it really showed that he can get the job done at the net. He's not got a whole lot of kills per set, but when he gets blocks and digs and does all the other things, and he's a great chemistry guy, easy to play with, players love him. So he's happy to be the lone senior and the leader.
Stanford on a bit of a run here. Tight pass. Siki again. Kind of had to reach a little bit behind his head to get that ball. Couldn't get a good swing on it. It was dumped right back on the Hawaii side of the court.
I'm not sure that was exactly where he wanted it, but he had a one-on-one situation there. Had he been able to put something on it, he would have had the advantage over Cook.
Irvin back again. And a bit of a run with the serve and self-inflicted wound there. Service error. That ends the run. Hawaii now serving down by 1. It'll be 16 serving 17. Well, Hawaii, every single one of their home matches went 5 sets until they won that 3-setter, the sweep against the Waves of Pepperdine last week on Sunday afternoon. And I think the crowd was very happy to go home early. Johan Timmer, he's been a serving specialist for the bulk of the season. Ramos with the dig. Timmer keeps it alive, and then JP will bop it over. Back set, and a great swing once again, and that's Brian Cook, the 6'5" junior who averages 4.5 kills per set.
So when you give Stanford a free ball, they're pretty darn effective. They usually get one-on-ones. James Shaw, great setter. He's really maturing quickly. Cook with almost with a one-on-one. Just rips it down the line.
Cardinal are down by 3, and we got a freshman in there serving it up. Madison Hayden making his first appearance in this match, and not what we want to do as a serving specialist off the bench. And that brings Hawaii back within 1. Brooks Sador will go back to serve it up for the Warriors. Kind of nice to have an opportunity just to talk to some of the young guys on the team about things other than volleyball, and you kind of get a feel for their personalities and what else is exciting and interesting about their lives. They've got a lot of really neat young men on this team. Looking for Siki. That time he got a good set. Comes down on the Hawaii side. Joby fists it over. And the block by Hawaii. And it's Joby Ramos and Taylor Averill. And I think it might have been the shorter Joby Ramos that got it.
I think he did too. He was celebrating the most, wasn't he?
He sure was.
Not often the smallest guy on the floor gets a big block like that. But Ramos does a nice job. Good back jump set by Scooter Sakaida. Yeah, Ramos did get all of that. Jake Keller was trying to take advantage of the small blocker, and Ramos would have none of it.
Averill is 6'7", Ramos is 6 feet, but he was the one that took care of business on that point. And Buxador into the net, the service error, and Hawaii back down by 1. 19-18 the score. And Brian Cook, the junior out of Santa Cruz, California. Tough serve in the overpass. And that serve sets up the winner for the Cardinal.
Good serve by Brian Cook. You know, it's interesting how many times that little roll shot will fall in front of all those back row passers. They're all waiting for the heater, and Cook does have a great heater, but that time he pulled out the off speed and it worked.
2018 Cardinal again, tough serve. Cheap, trying to take it off the net. Good play at the net by Stanford. Averill, he mishits it. And having a conversation with Joby, and apparently a little bit of a miscommunication there. Charlie Wade's going to take a timeout now, trailing by 3. Hawaii was up by as many as 3. Now they find themselves on the bottom end of that same number.
Earlier on, Hawaii was hitting like 415, Stanford hitting 100. Right now it's reversed. Stanford hitting 219, Hawaii hitting 111. Too many hitting errors. They've gotten 5 now so far, and only 8 kills. So struggling a bit there. Stanford with 5 blocks. Hawaii with 5 blocks, Stanford with 3. So the two teams about as even as the score shows, but Stanford with slight edge. I think those 3 points really have come on broken plays by Hawaii when they haven't been able to really dig a ball and then get a decent set out of it and then make a play. Instead, they're bumping a lot of balls over, giving Stanford free balls.
Oh, we have a little bit of a break in the action. Let's take a look at the Mid-Pac Petroleum leaderboard, and the subject tonight, team serving in conference. You see the Bruins talking about aces per set, and not a lot of disparity between Hawaii at number 5 and UCLA at number 1.
Right, Hawaii certainly bumped up their serving stat in the league when they had 14 service aces last weekend. But as a coach, when I look at the serving stats, it's nice to get service aces, but I would much rather look at the serving stat that shows where when you serve, how bad a pass are you forcing by the other team? Are you getting them out of system and forcing them to run a play from beyond the 3-meter line? That's what I would look at.
Hawaii in need of a side out here. They're going to need a few natural points if they're going to get back into this first set. 21 serving 18. And Chief kind of looked over at J.P. Marks, and this, we've seen about 2 or 3 plays, and you're talking about broken plays and miscommunication, and that was another example of that there. Just kind of a weird play.
It really was weird. The two of them have played enough together. They should not have a communication problem.
And the service error ends a 4-0 run. So Hawaii with Siki Sarkovic back to serve it up. They're going to need a couple of natural points right here. And Siki with a great serve. The overpass, and Ramos trying to take care of it. And then Averill with a two-handed dunk.
Taylor Averill put it down. I'll tell you, that first serve by Siki forced the overpass. Ramos couldn't put it down, but he almost did. And Stanford's seen enough. They want to call a timeout and slow down the serving of Sarkovic.
John Costi calls the timeout. He is a graduate, by the way, of the University of California at Santa Barbara. He's a UCSB guy in his 7th year as head coach, 23 years with the program. And look at that serve by Siki.
Tough serve. Ramos right there to almost put it down. And then his attack actually forced another overpass, which Taylor Averill put down.
Hey, by the way, speaking of Santa Barbara, they defeated San Diego in 4 games tonight. Pacific defeated UC Santa Cruz in 4, and Pepperdine. How would they respond after being swept in 2 straight against Hawaii? Well, they beat USC. So there's that UCSB game, again going 4 sets. And there's that USC game back at the University of Malibu.
Look how close that is. A 2-point game, another 2-point game, a 3-point game. You know, this league is just so difficult. And there's the big score of the night. This is like, I'm sure the rest of the league is saying, welcome to the club, BYU.
Yes.
We've all got a loss, and now you have one too. And the Pacific playing a non-conference game there against UC Santa Cruz. UC Santa Cruz usually plays very well in the Division II National Championships. And all the teams try to get a match against them.
Kind of must be nice, right, when you're UCLA, Pepperdine, USC, 3 schools that are probably no more than about it. Well, depending on traffic, could be as short as 20 minutes apart, 30 minutes apart. Of course, could be an hour and a half or 2 hours. Santa Barbara, one of the farther drives, but a beautiful drive up the coast.
And BYU, Stanford, Pacific have all got to make long treks.
And look at this.
And Hawaii.
This is something that we haven't seen, is Wes Maxum is back into the game.
A little blocking sub here.
Yep. And a good swing by Brian Cook.
He's their go-to guy when it gets to 22, 23, 24. You're probably going to see him get the ball. I'm surprised that Hawaii did not get 2 blockers on him instead of 1.
Max Wexing, of course, he injured himself. He went out the night that Hawaii beat UCLA in 5. As Jake Miller serves it in. I talked to him on Wednesday night. He said, hey, how's the shoulder? He said, you know what, I'm good. I said, great timing, huh? He said, you know what, though? I was able to sit there and watch our team win that game against UCLA, and he says, you know what, I'm psyched and I'm happy, and I'm happy for Joby. And I mean, what a great team player to have that attitude. And it's not easy to be that. Everybody wants to play, of course.
Yeah.
Averill pops it over. Big point for Hawaii. They need the block. JP with a huge dig. We're going to go back to him for the payoff. Can't put it down. Quick dump shot by Shaw does not go. And then the block by Davis Holt, and Hawaii back within 1.
Davis Holt continues to get the job done at the net. Here's the block by JP. That was the key play in that rally, was JP Marks stopping James Shaw's dump shot, and then Holt there to end the rally. Boy, he has improved so much.